morning and welcome back.
Welcome
Good
back.
to see you again.
Yeah, here's a little sneak preview of us going, what's going on?
What are we talking about
How do
today?
I look today?
Yeah, Wellness Wednesday,
It is
welcome.
so.
Boy, you have a firecracker guest lined up for the first one. Oh, my word. This girl is so an underachiever. Not.
Fit bodies, fit minds on
Holy
Wellness Wednesday.
moly.
And Annette Katajimaki's coming in from Algoma, Canadian Mental CMHA, Canadian Mental Health Association. So it's all wellness, all Wednesday.
We're going to make you feel so good.
Wow.
Well.
It's National Sibling Day.
Oh, it is.
Hi, siblings.
Hi, Lizard, Jerry, Greg.
Lizard?
My oldest sister's name is Liz Ann.
And you call her Lizard?
Yeah, we call her Lizard.
That's funny. We have names for Sean. My brother Sean was Sean again.
Sean again?
Yeah, Karen. Well, I'll tell you about Karen. Okay, Michaela was Kayla Bug.
My brother Jerry was Hoss. Because he looked like Hoss from Bonanza when he was a kid. He came out looking like Hoss.
Oh, no.
He was just like, yeah.
That's
and then
unfortunate.
my youngest brother, Greg, his nickname is Squirrel.
Squirrel?
Yeah, my youngest...
Lizard, Hoss, and Squirrel.
Yeah,
That's,
Hoss named him Squirrel.
You know you're from Espanola when? Mm-hmm. Your family's all named
And
after...
I didn't have a nickname.
You have one now.
They called me something.
I know what they call you.
But it wasn't a nickname.
No. Right?
My dad used to call me Lulu Bell when he wanted me to do something for him.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how he...
Yeah, Lulu Bell.
Sucked up to you, Lulu.
Yeah. And then I went, what?
I was Tim Buck.
Tim Buck?
Yeah, Tim Buck. And my sister Marilyn was Linny Goat.
Linny Goat?
Yeah.
Why were you Tim Buck?
I don't know. My mother called me Tim Buck.
Tim Buck.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a weird thing because as a parent, you do. You just name, like my oldest daughter's nickname is Hooch.
Hooch.
Hooch. I don't know why. Or Boone. Booners. Yeah.
That's really?
Yeah.
See, Karen, she didn't get her name from anybody else. She got her nickname. It wasn't even a nickname. It was just what I called her.
Karen?
For some reason, I couldn't say Karen. So I called her Didi Butt. It was way easier than Karen, I guess.
What? Didi Butt?
Didi Butt.
That's so much more complicated than Karen.
I know.
You're a weirdo.
Thanks. National
Diggy
Sibling
Butt.
Day.
Diggy Butt.
Happy National Sibling Day. Diggy
Yeah. Call your siblings and say, man, you're awesome. You owe me money.
Today, are you ready for this? These are things you never think about. On April the 10th, 1633, who records this stuff? Thomas Johnson became the first man to sell bananas in England.
Really? I was wondering about that. I couldn't sleep last night. Who was the first guy in England to sell bananas? Oh, and I was tossing and turning, and I was seeing bananas and monkeys that were starving in the jungle, and I thought, oh my word, those poor apes.
He thinks they came.
Oh, that's my husband.
From Bermuda. I don't know. I just never assumed that there was an actual day in history when they sold sold bananas.
It was quite a large production.
Yeah, because he had to describe the bananas.
And he
because no one had ever tried one before, so he had to say, "This is what you're going to experience when you peel this."
And this thing that's
imagine never seeing one before.
And you have to wait till they're just certain capacity of ripeness.
Yeah, do you prefer them more a little on the green side?
No.
No.
Jim likes them on the green side, almost like to the point where they're like.
Really?
And I'm the total opposite. If I can and not even chew it, that's my kind of banana.
You're going to do very well in nursing homes.
Whether I have my own teeth or not.
Hey.
I'll borrow my mom's.
Oh, what about that new license plate thing?
Oh my word.
Okay, now it's going to be...
Seriously.
A place to grow. I think it should be like a place to grow weed. Ontario, a place to grow weed.
That's going to be the new one? I didn't even read that.
A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontario. From that song. They've taken the lyric from that song, and that's going to be that they're taking, we're no longer yours to discover, we're a place to grow weed. Place to grow.
I like it better than open for business.
That's going to be on the commercial.
The commercial ones.
Yeah.
But apparently they're also looking at just having one license plates on our vehicles.
No more front ones?
Yeah, apparently.
How are you able to tell Americans from Canadians when you cross the bridge?
Right, I always like when I'm waiting in line. I'm like, oh, Canadian.
Now, when you go over on the bridge, do you check license plates to try to get behind all the Canadians coming home and not the Americans? Like when you're coming back over the bridge, I always look for the lane that has more Ontario license plates than American ones because I figure we'll get back into the country faster.
Oh, I never.
They'll have more questions for Americans, so I try to avoid the American license plates when I come back over the bridge.
Good thinking.
Thank you. I'm clever that way.
You're clever that way. And in so many other ways as well.
Hey, okay, so Prince. He had a posthumous album called Deliverance.
Really?
Yeah, but what happened was there was an engineer who worked on the album. His name was George Ian Boxell. Never trust anyone with two first names. It was a 6-song collection, and this son of a gun tried to release it without permission from the family, like from the estate. Duh. He took these 6 songs. He claimed that he was not just a co-producer, but a co-writer. Yeah, he claimed to be a co-writer, and he went to this indie Vancouver-based record label called Rogue Music Alliance, and he tried to release a 6-song collection of Prince's music.
So he came to Canada to do it so that it was on the down low maybe and nobody would notice. I don't know. Like as if.
Well, they noticed.
You're going to put out an album by Prince who's no longer with us and nobody's going to notice that, buddy?
They noticed, and right after it was released, they got a court order to stop the release from happening, and guess what he got fined? Guess how much? You just lost $4 million. Well, almost 3.96 or something. That was his fine for taking to the estate.
That'll teach us.
Holy smokes. Man. Do you think he'll ever get that kind of, wow.
For a minute, Prince was tossing and turning in his grave. Now he's laughing.
He was just like you, worried about the bananas.
Yes, right. Lori Loughlin, at the, you know, the whole college she paid to have $500,000 worth, have her children enrolled into a university. Felicity Huffman pleaded guilty. She spent $15,000. Yeah, $15,000. And she pleaded guilty and apologized profusely. And like, I know she's an actress, but I feel like she is very sorry. Yeah. But meanwhile, Lori Loughlin
doesn't seem so sorry. Lori Loughlin doesn't seem so sorry.
You know what? Her and her husband refused to plead guilty for a lesser sentence, so she could actually end up in jail for 20 years. And people who are close to her, a source told a journalist that her and her husband don't seem to understand the seriousness of this.
That's what the photo ops and
I wonder where the daughters get it from.
The photo ops and the signatures and the fans posing with fans outside the courthouse in Boston. There's more charges, or did you hear that?
Yes.
They've added money laundering to this now as well.
That's so.
Because you're sneaking money into.
Yeah, now you're talking federal charges. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's scary. And she and her husband are just like, yeah, no, we're good.
Well, I don't think that she made it. She made it big because of her.
Brains?
I didn't want to say that, but thank you.
I'll say it. Brains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have how many children? 3?
3.
Could you imagine having 19? All at the same time?
What?
A Great Dane.
Good Lord.
Her name was Cleo in Arizona. 19 puppies in 1 litter. They had to give her a C-section. They said they just came popping out.
I hope she was laying down.
Well, yeah.
19?
The C-section, only 2 didn't make it. They're the oh my gosh, look at them all, Luann. 19 puppies. 2 didn't make it. That's in the Guinness Book of World Records, the largest is 24 pups. I know, it was a Mastiff.
Imagine if they all got the hiccups at the same time. Wow. 19
puppies.
That's gotta hurt. You know, that's gotta hurt to carry that around. I'm just saying. Like, her back's got to be like, oh, God.
I can't even imagine who's got to rate, like, hello? You got to raise 19 Great Dane puppies?
Well, they're going to adopt them out, I would think.
But for the first, how many weeks?
She has to nurse. Does she even have enough nurses things?
No, how many teats do you have? 8?
I don't, but how many do you have? I don't have 8, I know for sure. I mean, I don't see them much anymore, but I know I don't have 8. But so now the runts don't get to eat. She should have used the pill. You know, we got to talk to her, because seriously, that's way too many babies. What are you going to do with all those babies now? Diapers, you got to, you know, now you got to set up an education fund for them. Like, these are 19
for dog school
souls that you are responsible for, Mother.
Mother Great Dane.
You Mother Great Dane, you. Imagine that. She must be feeding like all day, every day.
I got to gather my wits about me. I got an interview coming up.
Good
now,
luck with that.
Smarten up. Smarten up.
Smarten up.
It is Wellness Wednesday. And Kyla,
I think you're well enough.
I am. I'm happy. You just made me really happy. Laughter's the best medicine, but so are fit bodies and fit minds, and that's who our first guest is.
Yeah.
So please stay with us on Mornings with Luann and Tim on this great Wellness Wednesday. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out.
It is. The sun's out. It's awesome. It's tough to work on a computer though, because it's shining right into the newsroom. So okay. Alex and I are having a hard time. Tim doesn't use the computer. So.
I just make this stuff up.
Yeah, he does.
We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Boy, if you want to start your day off and don't want to do a coffee to get you going, just spend some time with Kyla Faganelli. The energy, your spirit is amazing. You have this incredible energy.
Thank you.
Have you always been this exuberant?
I think so, especially when I'm talking about what I love. Yeah.
Right, which is?
Fitness.
Wellness.
Yeah.
More than fitness, wellness.
Now wellness, I would say, yeah, more than fitness.
Kyla, you're from the Sault originally?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about how you came to fitness as a career.
Well, starting when I was very young, I was always into movement. I was an athlete, and I just loved...
What kind of sports?
So swimming was... I was a competitive swimmer.
Were you?
Yeah, but I played basketball too. I was a cross-country skier. I just loved to exercise. I really love to move. Yeah.
Hey, we have a really good swim team now. Did you know that?
Yes.
Like, is it the Storm? Is that what they're called?
Yeah. No, what are they called now? Sue... oh my gosh, why am I forgetting?
I don't know. I can't... But I've had them...
But I sponsor it. I'm one of their sponsors that I put my name on the wall.
They win all kinds of awards, like fast... Yeah.
Very well.
Good swimmers.
Anyway. Amazing. It's amazing in our city, swimming, yeah.
Okay, so then...
Yeah, so I just loved movement. I started really young teaching classes and fitness camps for kids.
Really?
At the YMCA when I was really young. I remember my first fitness certification. I had to beg, and I lied about my age just so I could do it. I was supposed to be 16, but I was only 15. I just always been into this. I used to, in high school, even teach fitness to my class. I would ask my phys ed teacher, who was a big inspiration to me.
Who's that?
Miss Best, her name was.
Right on.
Yeah, Karen Best, or Karen McLean.
Okay.
And she...
Oh, her?
Yeah,
I know her.
I love her. And anyway, she really inspired me in the whole movement thing. Plus, I had a really active family. So I went away and did my kinesiology degree. I went down south, and I just right away I got a full-time job running like the fitness department at the university. I was always just really into this. I worked for a place called Fitness Alive, where I started running groups and did personal training. I did some work at Niagara College. Like, this is when I was like 19. I just loved everything about this. And
wow.
Yeah, so I did a lot of education down south. Then I moved to Toronto area, did more education, worked for a few fitness companies, did a lot of personal training, fitness classes, taught yoga, Pilates, all of these things. And then I was working and doing some work with the school board, and they said, well, why don't you go away and do your B.Ed? We recognize more. So I went to Australia.
Oh, you went to Australia to get your B.Ed?
I always wanted to go there, so I went to Australia. I was there for 2 years, and I did amazing things there. Like, I'm surprised I came back, because it was amazing. With the help, like with a person who I worked for, we opened a couple of gyms. I opened a fitness facility in an indigenous company.
In the Outback?
Yeah, in the Outback. It was just so cool. And then I got my B.Ed, so it was just a dream.
What?
Yeah, so it was like...
All of that by the age of what?
I was 23 when I came back. Well, no, 23 when I went. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So 25, you come back, kind of?
Yeah, 25 is when I ended up back in the Sault.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came.
When you came back from Australia, did you go back to Toronto again?
I went to Toronto just briefly, and I realized, like, oh my gosh, I want to go home. Yeah, like this was, and I had done a lot of research actually in my thesis in my undergrad on physical activity, and I looked at areas in Canada that were struggling with obesity rates, and actually our area was one of them. Yeah. And at the time we were number 3. It was crazy. So we're not anymore, I don't think, but I really don't.
That's because you came home.
Yeah, maybe. But so I really wanted to come back, so I came back, and just things fell into my lap. Maybe I manifested, I don't know, but maybe it's just because I love what I do.
What you put out there, what you put out comes back to you.
Totally. So I came back and I started the fitness company that I'm doing. I worked for a couple places at first, Fit Bodies, Fit Minds.
And there it is, the picture behind us.
Yeah, and originally our name was different. We were called Pilates for Me. So I had a big focus in Pilates. Okay. I felt like that's what a lot of the athletes I trained needed. I felt like that's what could help rehab bodies. I really did focus a lot on the Pilates side of things, our style. Yeah. And then I switched the name about 8 years ago to Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, because I realized like we were doing so much more than just that.
Now let's talk about that, because you came to the realization that so much of it is mental.
Yes.
So much of our health and our wellness is based on how we think and how we feel about ourselves.
Yes, and I used to think if you were take care of your body, so that's why it's called Fit Bodies, you could get a fit mind. But I actually think it's the other way around now. Like if we can get our minds really fit, right? Our spirits connected to our minds, our dealing with past trauma in our lives and things that we're going through, being real with who we are, then I think we can get a fit body. I think chronic pain starts to disappear. I think that we start to lose the weight that we've always wanted to lose. We start to feel like stronger to go upstairs and have longevity in our life and things like that. So they're both extremely important, but over the last few years I've gone to more of like, hey, maybe my clients, maybe these people I work with, maybe these presentations I do need to be focused a little bit more on how can we get our minds well.
So you developed an actual sort of system, or what do you call it?
Yeah, I call it the Wellness Wheel.
The Wellness Wheel.
And that's from guidance of tons of literature and tons of holistic, actually, kinesiology. I did a 2-year program overall out of California. I did some like correspondence, but I did a lot. I would go to California and do training, and
cool.
it was holistic kinesiology and corrective kinesiology. But what it taught me is a lot of what I speak about today. And so from that information and a lot of other information from courses I take and literature I do, I came up with this wheel.
Okay.
And this wheel has 4 areas. And when you come to Fit Bodies, it's now what we're all about. So there's 4 areas, and one area is happiness. So we talk about happiness, like how to be in careers we love, how to be in relationships we love, how to be doing what we love, hobbies we love, whatever we love. And it talks a lot about gratitude. We talk a lot about facing the fear, like doing things, like change, like all of these things. It's an awesome area that I feel like a lot of people lack. And then the other area is obviously movement. That's what I specialize in. That's what I have an extreme large education background in. And what most people come to me initially for is movement, so corrective posture, how to truly train well, so primal movement patterns, so functional movement is key.
When we spoke earlier, that was one thing that really caught me when you said the larger gyms, you've worked in larger gyms, and what you type A personality.
Oh yeah, type A.
The fact that you saw people who, it's too many people how would you say it?
Okay, so in big gyms, and it's not that I'm against them, it's great, but like
this is just your thing.
Yeah, it's my thing. So
In
big gyms, we like clutter it with lots of machines, and machines are not functional, right? Maybe a cable machine is functional. We have Pilates reformers; they're functional, but generally people need to be able to move their own body. So functional trainer is truly moving your own body in ways that you need to do it in your day, in your work, to play with your kids, and so on. So it's like squatting, bending, lunging, twisting, pulling, pushing, our proper gait and alignment, core functioning, linking from our feet. It's like that's primal movement patterns. And if people are not doing that in their training, they're over time going to get hurt. It's just hands
and that's
down.
What was frustrating to you, was seeing that happening and not being able to get in there and stop it from happening, because there's too many people, and not everybody wants that. So when
so I get it. They want to go to a big gym because they see the machines and they're like, oh, I could do that. I can go on that machine.
But you're talking about sustaining, right?
Sustaining.
Being able to
and to develop the alignment, the body, the posture. So like I always say, you're only as old as your spine. So and we have people who are like 20 with spines that are 40, and so that's clearly. And I train a lot of professional athletes, so especially hockey players, and I get them when they're so young, and I'm like, oh my God, you got a body of a 50-year-old. Right. But that's because maybe you were doing the wrong training, or maybe you were overtraining is another big thing I'm on. Like less is more, quality over quantity, like making sure our programming looks really well.
Right.
So that's what I'm huge on.
2. Now what's the 3rd?
Okay, so the third one is called nutrition and health.
Okay.
So that looks at our food, our water intake obviously is huge. Like, and not just food, what we eat, but like where does our food come from? We're so lucky where we live here with all these local farms that we can actually do farm to table from our own area.
You have nutritionists working with you.
I have a holistic nutritionist, and I have a minor, like, so I have some background in nutrition as well. So we've done training with all of our staff, so they have a little bit of nutritional training, so that anybody who trains at our studio is going to get, whether you're in a small group or personal training, you're going to get some nutritional guidance. And we're not about diets, like I'm so against them. So nutrition is like, I really believe in something called metabolic typing. So we figure out—
Metabolic typing.
Yeah, and we figure out exactly what your body needs. So, you know, a lot of people are lacking fat, or, you know, so we'll add fat in, or it depends also like your ancestor, like where you come from. It also has a lot to do with what you should eat. So that's the nutrition. And then the health is looking at like home health, skin health. We're big into essential oils. We're big into EMF protection. That's what this is. So it's taking off, like, you know, from Wi-Fi devices and things like that.
Electromagnetic.
Yes, I'm big on that. We're big on many things. So, but when a client comes in, we try not to overwhelm them with my type A personality and all these things I do. But we try to bring them in just baby steps. And if you ask any of our clients, like, we really don't push this all on them right away.
Right.
But that's the wheel. If a spoke goes on that wheel, it's not going to be fully healthy. So then the last step is rest and recovery. And that was one for myself, probably you too, that has been very hard to really realize, yes, I need this.
Yeah.
But it's life-changing, you know? It's been life-changing for our clients, and life-changing when we finally see them lose the chronic pain. Or, you know, that one in happiness, where we're finally seeing them actually recover, especially my athletes.
Yeah.
They're so used to like hardcore training, and we pull back a bit, and we start, I could call it working in versus working out.
Now we have to get going because our time is up, but you brought me some things just before we go real quick.
So my big thing I do a lot of is corporate presenting.
Yes.
So I do a lot of going into workplaces and teaching them things to do.
Yes.
So this is one I thought you could use.
Okay.
So one of the things you can do is just roll out your traps here.
Oh.
Okay. I'll show you another one. Roll out your pecs because we're so rounded.
I want to roll.
I'm going to show you one more. Roll out your temple. That's just headaches at rest and recovery, bringing energy back in the body. And there's tons you can do, but it's just nice.
Oh. I would never. Oh my God! How come I never discovered this before?
They're just lacrosse balls. We're huge on them.
Ooh, Luann. Okay.
Awesome.
What's the band?
Okay, band. You can just do. There's tons of things. So sometimes I'll just get people. Even if you take every 20 minutes, if you're sitting at a desk, just take a little second to open up your chest. So you can do like lat pulls, but even just holding here, kind of opening up your body, is just so awesome. Or bringing it around here, it just gets people's shoulders back. So I talked about posture and spine.
All right.
That's the key to it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in your body.
Kyla Faganelli from Fit Bodies, Fit Minds. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but it feels good. Oh, it's a scarf.
You're not really doing that right.
Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, no problem.
And we'll be back with Luann right after this. So people are going out buying things like to massage things and stuff, and she just uses a lacrosse ball, for heaven's sakes. And I'm not even kidding.
I know. What were you doing on your head?
You rub it on your temple. It gets all your. It's like works your muscles out. She says your pecs and your neck.
Well, and you know how she
ball, you just roll it.
And that band thing. But even the ball, my chiropractor, because I pop ribs out, and he said, try and get your shoulder blades to touch each other, and that's a really good stretch to open up your chest. Or pretend there's an orange there and try and squeeze the orange.
Oh,
so that band thing
look how
would
happy
be
I am right
awesome.
now. This makes me feel good. Oh my gosh.
Right?
And the band gets you all stretched out this way, right? And it's all gentle. It's
not like, oh God, 50 pounds.
What she was saying was that thing is great for people who work at desks.
Yes.
Just to get the blood flowing, get a stretch going on, because that's where the chronic
Sitting is so bad for you.
It is.
For 8 hours a day. I do it really well.
You know why?
But
that's also, here's a little plug for our friend Marnie Stone, because when it comes to like ergonomic chairs and stuff. Yes. She knows so much about that kind of stuff.
Is that right?
And that's so important. I mean, a lot of companies will have somebody come in and do all that stuff for you, right? To
Jim does that at the lottery.
Does he?
Yeah.
Making sure the chairs are right.
Yeah, and he has those desks that you can stand up at.
Standing I'd like one of those where you can the desk can.
I want one where you can lay down at your desk. I think we should invent that. I wonder where you could get those bands. I'm sure they're everywhere.
The bands? Yeah. I don't know. We'll ask Kyla.
Yeah. Okay.
I have her number. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds on Queen Street. Isn't she a bundle of energy?
My word. I think it's working for her. Holy moly.
Luann, she just had a baby.
What?
She's not working. She does all the wellness stuff for the school board now. She got the contract for the school board. As well as Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, she also does all the wellness for
when did she have this baby?
She's off for 18 months, so it's been within the last year and a half.
Good Lord. I'm still working on getting rid of my baby fat.
And your child is 28?
27.
There you go.
Yeah. Remember yesterday we were talking about Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
And how she was leaving the Jimmy Kimmel show, and then the paparazzi were following her, so she got really nervous and uptight and stuff. She actually commented about it yesterday to a media scrum and talked about how even after the horrible death of Diana, she said there still are no laws that have been changed to protect the targets.
Huh.
So she says, you know, it's time to really put up a barrier around people somehow, or have them stay back a certain, you know what, with cameras nowadays, like seriously, you can zoom into Mars. Like you could be across the room and take a close-up picture of
You could
somebody.
find a black hole that's 26 million light years away. 26,000.
You could, with a camera. You can, like, you could go to Mars and
so you
stay
don't
in your
need
own
to get
living
close
room.
in your cars to chase celebrities.
Yeah, so stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
Holy moly, you're going to hurt each other too.
You mentioned Princess Diana. They just, you know that TV show The Crown, the TV series The Crown?
Yes.
They just cast the girl who's playing Diana.
Really?
I didn't see who it was. I just happened to glance at that. So Princess Diana.
Have to watch for it.
Yeah. You have the news next.
I have the news next. Please stay with us. We'll be back with that right after this. Now, I don't know if this is something that's going to surprise you, but Mr. Donald Trump uses Twitter quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Every once in a while he throws out a tweet.
Didn't know that.
Well, yeah. So now he's in trouble.
No kidding.
I know. It's been a minute.
What happened?
He used the soundtrack on Twitter from The Dark Knight Rises, and he didn't get permission from Warner Brothers to do it, so Twitter pulled it off. Donald, even you have to have permission.
Oh, no, he doesn't think he does. He doesn't think he needs permission for anything. You know, that's why he doesn't like judges. Don't tell me I can't do that.
Right? He doesn't like anybody. Also on social media, all over the place, I hope you find this today, a picture of Chrissy Teigen and John Legend sitting front row at a basketball game, and Gabrielle Union, who is an actress, sitting beside John on this side.
Okay.
Her husband is playing his final game. He's retiring.
Oh.
And it ends up that her husband falls into the laps of Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. And there's a still picture of them, and you have to find it to see their faces. He's got ice cubes in his hair afterwards. and she's doing this, and drinks are flying, and he's just like, and the basketball player, his name is Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is so into the game that his face is like nondescript. He's in the game, man.
He didn't know he was lying on Chrissy Teigen's lap probably at that point, did he?
And so, as he removed himself from them,
extricated himself.
Yes, his wife, Gabrielle Union, got up and when he went back out on the court, tapped him on the bum a little bit.
Oh, that was a lot of activity.
I'm like, wow, that's like,
oh my gosh,
look at
that is so.
Look at see how serious he is?
Yeah.
And look at Chrissy. She's like, what the?
Smushy.
Yeah, I'm worried she's going to get that straw up her nose. And John's got ice all over him. Like, seriously, his hair is glistening. And then somebody, you can imagine, somebody comes over with towels like by this many, and so she's wiping his face off for him and stuff, and she was just, they retweeted it and reposted
were they laughing
it on,
about it after?
They were such good sports. Yeah, I think I'd like to be their friend.
Well, you seem to really like Chrissy Teigen. You mentioned her a lot.
She's really down to earth, and she cooks, and I eat, so I could get along with her.
You and Chrissy could hang out in the kitchen, and John and I will sit by the piano and sing together.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Oh, man.
Also, Prince Harry is teaming up with somebody. He's got a new partner. They're going to develop a documentary series with Oprah.
Prince Harry and Oprah?
Prince Harry and Oprah, because Oprah's not, you know, doing anything. She's
what are they going to call? What are they going to call their company?
I don't know, but it's for Apple.
Oh, okay.
It's a series of documentaries for mental health.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
That's a nice segue into Wellness Wednesday. My next guest is the Executive Director of the Canadian Mental Health Association here in Sault Ste. Marie. It's Annette Kadajimaki, and we're talking about this amazing new service through CMHA. Well, you'll hear all about it, and that's coming up right after this break. Annette Kadajimaki is joining me now. I have to thank you because this whole Wellness Wednesday thing that we've been doing for the last, I don't even know, 8 months or something.
Probably.
This was actually because this was an idea sort of that we came up with together, but it was really through your support and through CMHA sending people to the show in the early days when I was having a hard time getting guests. And you guys were so, pardon me, supportive of this concept. Pardon me, of getting this information out there. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for coming back again. It's really taken off.
Yes, I see
that. People love to come on the show and talk about
the variety of people.
The holistic stuff. But so this, and that came to my attention, this Bounce Back, Reclaim Your Health. I found this, it's exam week right now for a lot of the university students and college students, and it's about stress and dealing with your stress and anxiety and coping mechanisms and just really finding balance in your life. And this was sort of advertised through Algoma Family Services and through CMHA that this now exists, this Bounce Back, and I'm so taken with it because it's almost self-help, but you're guided by workbooks and by a coach. I mean, it's an amazing system. Can you tell me where it originated, a little bit about the background of Bounce Back?
So Bounce Back originated in the UK.
Okay.
There was a clinical psychologist who put the program together, and about 5 or 6 years ago, British Columbia, the CMHA in British Columbia took it on, and they piloted it across the province. And about 2 or 3 years ago, one of our CMHA branches in Ontario, York, decided that they wanted to bring it into Ontario, but it's a licensing thing, so it's a licensed program, so it's based on good efficacy. The government kind of figured out, Ontario government saw what was happening and last year decided to fund it. So the Ontario government is funding CMHA Ontario Division to provide this program across the province. And each of us as branches are saying, okay, we can get out there and advertise it and make sure people know about it because it's a great program.
Truly, I mean, it's so innovative, and in a time where we're all becoming much more aware of our mental health, mental wellness, and the fact that we need to do things to take care of ourselves, just like you do with your body. Mind, body, soul, right?
Yes.
So, and there are sometimes little gaps in our system where it's sometimes maybe hard to get to see somebody or to get the information you want. This system almost provides mental health care in your home, like.
For sure. It's really easy to use. It's free, first of all. There's absolutely no cost to this program.
Bounce Back.
And folks, all they need, there's 2 components to the program. So one is around telephone coaching. So you need a telephone and you need to get a referral from some kind of primary care provider. Doctor, psychiatrist, nurse practitioner,
any of the above?
Whoever, and if you don't have primary care involved, every effort will be made to link you to primary care for the duration that you're involved in this program. But it's based on CBT, so the cognitive behavioral approach.
Yes.
And people get a workbook, and decide on what kind of work they want to do, and they have access to a coach through the telephone to provide them with guidance and support completing these workbooks.
These workbooks. Now, first of all, about the referral, you've given me the sheet. I would just take this into my primary caregiver, and we fill it out, and it's very, very simple. It's just fill in the blanks and check off boxes, right? And then once your doctor has done that, they will, or your primary caregiver, they'll submit that and get me qualified or registered, right?
Yep. And
within, the program.
And within 5 days, you'll get a call back from the telephone coach.
That quickly?
Yes, that quickly. And start the process. You choose the workbooks that you're most interested in. So the program is set up for those people who have a mild to moderate anxiety and or depression.
And what we were talking about before we came to air was I was saying when you have moderate to mild anxiety depression, if you start dealing with it then, before the situation gets worse, before it snowballs, sometimes that can sneak up on you.
Absolutely.
And before you know it, you're stuck. This will help you get unstuck or stop you from even getting stuck in the first place.
For sure, and you don't even need a diagnosis per se. All of us can do better with our mental health. All of us have a bit of anxiety and depression in our life, or both. So why wouldn't we just get on the bandwagon and do something? Because it is totally within our ability to start this work and to be more mentally healthy.
You use the term cognitive behavioral therapy, and just to explain what that is, it's changing the way you think.
And the way you think,
or recognizing.
First of all, it's recognizing some of your thought patterns, whether they're negative or positive. Your thoughts actually start you on a behavior route as well. So the thoughts you have, if they're negative, are going to lead to negative behaviors. If they're positive, hopefully positive behaviors.
Right.
And then the way you behave influences how other people behave with you, which influences your thoughts, which it's this circle. So
sometimes we need to get out of that circle if it's a negative circle.
Exactly.
And cognitive just means being aware. Being aware of your behavior, right? And that's the first step in changing your behavior, is becoming aware of it. Amazing. We're talking about stress, anxiety. Students right now, for instance, we've got understanding worry and stress. That's a great one that would be helpful right now. Practical problem solving, for sure. Noticing extreme and unhelpful thinking. If you start thinking negatively, catch that. 20 different alcohol, drugs, and you. I mean, the list goes on. Using exercise to boost how you feel. That whole thing about the body as well, right? So, overcoming sleep problems, being assertive. These are amazing titles, and every single one of these has a workbook attached.
Yes. And a video.
And the video.
Yes.
DVDs
and or online.
And you can do it online, or they will actually mail stuff to you. I can get an actual physical workbook if I wanted one.
Yes, absolutely.
Recommendation is 3 to 6 months to work through one of these, or several. You can choose several.
Yeah, they recommend going with 2 or 3 booklets, which would take you 3 to 6 months to complete if you're actually doing the work, right? It's not just a matter of reading it, doing it, and being done with it. It's integrating it into your life. Right, which is the hardest piece.
And that's where you have the coach.
The coach will help you, guide you, support you, give you that kind of positive feedback.
So once again, the best way to find out more about this, I guess, probably would we go online to CMHA? Is there stuff online that we can look at?
Yeah, there's actually a website, and it's simple, bouncebackontario.ca.
It is simple. So I go check it out.
For sure.
And see if there's one of these. Well, and then could they come in and talk to somebody at CMHA if they had any questions?
For sure, yeah. They can access our access worker on site at CMHA, who's very familiar with the program, and get more information. The other thing, Tim, is that it's available in many different languages, 15 different languages.
French, English, I mean...
Arabic, Cantonese, Mandarin. Farsi, Italian.
This has been so well thought out. And obviously it's worked in BC, it's working in Ontario now. And it's going to help reduce the wait times, I think, for some people to get help.
Yes, for some people it's about the wait times. For some people it's about getting that help when they need it, which might be at 10 o'clock at night, not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you're working. Right? So we tend not to think about all those people that work for a living.
Just, seriously, just check it out. Check out the title. I swear, if you look at this and you look at the 20 different, what would you call them, guidebooks, you're going to find something that's going to benefit you. It's really a very, very cool. Annette, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, as always.
And thanks for Wellness Wednesday.
No problem.
Take care of yourself, folks, and we'll be back to say goodbye with Luann right after this. I love when guests bring us presents. We got stress balls. Bounce back.
Woohoo!
Hey, she told me that, Annette told me that all of these are now like in doctor's offices. All doctor's offices already have these referral forms. Did you know that Group Health Centre is like one of the top referral centers in Ontario?
Yeah, they are breaking ground like consistently.
They're really big on this bounce back thing too. So anyway, you're gonna bounce back with us tomorrow, Lou?
Yes, absolutely. We'll be here tomorrow.
For Bum Slide Thursday?
Bum Slide Thursday. Bounce
See you
back.
tomorrow.
Have an awesome day.